Okay, so I finally got my character to be max level at 80, reset my stats, did a whole bunch of things to do the best customization that I possibly could. Now, as you can see, my character that I have as being a Saiyan is wearing a variety of gear that kind of has stats that are just all over the place. So naturally, you'd want to use QQ bangs to override that. You want to make sure that you don't have anything that's going to be impacting in a negative way towards the way that you play in terms of the QQ bangs that you have. You want something that's going to be detrimental to your survival, your fight style, and making sure that you don't hurt yourself in the long run, whether it be just replaying some of the, parallel quests with friends, doing the raid, or going into the people in PvP. So I wanted to show you guys a QQ bang that I made, a 5-star QQ bang that I had. If we go into the change equipment area, I can take a look at that with you now. So this one right here has basically 5s all across the board, 5 up in ki, 5 up in basic attack, and 5 up in ki blast supers with downs in strike supers, stamina, and health. This to me is probably my ideal QQ bang, unless I can get one that is like, it's not perfect, but it's the best one that I've come across so far, and I'll tell you why. So with the increase in each, obviously you want to have as much ki as possible if you're doing something like ki blast supers like I do. So, I mean, I didn't want to dump in a ton of ki in there if let's put it this way. Every 42 stats that you had on your character, let's back it up. Let's reverse this a little bit. Let's start from scratch here. So let's go ahead and go to the boost attributes. So this is how my build is first and foremost, okay? 18 in health, max ki, max stamina, 125 basic attacks, and ki blast supers. Let me explain. So, after doing a little bit more research based on my previous video for the best Super Saiyan, or best Saiyan build, I found this was a little bit better for me. And so, max ki and max stamina, 42 attributes are what's needed in order to give you 1 extra bar of stamina or ki. But as soon as you hit a certain level, you get a bunch of, you get 5 bars anyway in stamina, so you don't really need that. So for me, I just wanted to go ahead and just put 42 and 42 in there because I knew I was going to end up getting a QQ bang at some point that was going to impact one of these categories negatively. Now, basic attacks are important for Saiyan, and for me, you either pick strike supers or ki blast supers. So I picked ki blast supers because I like doing ki energy blast as my attacks versus some sort of crazy combo move because I'm doing basic attacks for that anyway, and I wanted to kind of mix it up a little bit. And then the health. So basically what you do here, and what I've done at least when it came to the QQ bang, because I've got a surefire way for you to guaranteed, at least from what I found, my luck has been literally 10 out of 10 times been 5 stars and getting the right stats for me. So I wanted to have ki up just because I do a lot of ki blast super, so they go hand in hand. That works for me. I wanted to have my basic attacks up as much as possible because I like to get in real close and do some hand-to-hand combat. Health, it sucks that it's down, but I couldn't find a better way based on the gear that I have at this current time, and there is better gear. I couldn't find something that actually kept health up. Now, it's really, really tough to get increases this high up with 5 in each category in 4 different categories. So having 5 in ki and basic attack and ki blast super is really important. I would have foregone one of the other areas if it didn't bring me down. That's the biggest point, is you want to make sure that your QQ bang doesn't bring down something that's really important. Stamina for me, you don't need a ton of stamina, because as a Saiyan, you can go Super Saiyan 3 at 5 stars, or 5 bars of ki. And then having an extra boost in ki to do extra ki blast supers also helps out, so those two offset each other really, really well. Basic attack for me is really big, and I didn't put any attribute points in strike super, so being negative in that was best, because I knew I wasn't going to be using that at all, and I haven't throughout my entire playthrough of the campaign, during the raid, during parallel quest, extra missions, everything that I could do in this game. I've never once used a strike super by choice, so having that brought down is not a big deal. Stamina is the only one that you can also stand to lose. It is unfortunate that you need stamina in order to do some evasive techniques, but if you're good, if you're clever, and if you time it just right, you should be okay. And you also got to consider that the least amount of stamina you have, there's a better time period or a time frame for you to have your stamina to come back over time anyway. So if you had like max stamina bars, then obviously if you got stamina broken and then you had to wait to even fly around or do anything evasive, then you would take forever to have that like build back up. So the least amount of stamina is good because it fills also the quickest. So that's kind of my justification for me, stamina being brought down. Now, with the health brought down, that's a big deal. That sucks, and it's not what I want. And at some point, maybe down the road, I could switch that up if I wanted, because I have another QQ bang that increases health, stamina, and basic attack, which isn't bad, but it does bring down my ki blast supers and bring down my ki a lot, and that I can't have. The ki was the main thing. I'd be like, all right, well, I could forego having strike supers and ki blast supers down because I don't do strikes and ki blasts. It sucks because I use that, but if that went down, okay, if I have to, but it was the ki being brought down that much that really sucks. So This was better for me because my ki is up, so I'm not sacrificing a transformation, and I do Ki Blast Super, so I need as much ki as possible. And then naturally basic attack is what I do the most. So health is the one thing that I want really, really bad that I'm willing to sacrifice. Now there probably are alternatives to this, but going through all the gear that I could buy, it wasn't something that I found that I could come across very easily. If I was having a lot of like health up, then basic attacks and Ki Blast Supers were down, and I need those. So I either like got a lot of health and lost my combat, or I got my combat up and lost a lot of health. It's kind of a catch-22. Now I have heard that you can get straight 5s all across the board, but I don't know anyone who's got one, and I'm not going to Google search to try and find proof of that, so I'm just going to go ahead and stick to this, and this is how I got it. So basically doing the parallel quest that gives you Broly's gear. Broly's gear are these stats: Ki up, basic attack up, and Ki Blast Supers up, which are important to me. Except health is down, stamina is down, and strike super. So basically, when you're going to the clothes mixing shop and you're making your QQ Bang, what you want to do is you want to bring over 2 items that have matching stats. So ideally, what you'd want to do is have like something like Beerus's gear or Bardock's gear, something like this if you had 2 pieces of Bardock's gear. And the good news is, if you have Bardock's upper armor or his lower legs or his boots or his arms or hands or whatever, all the gear has the same exact stats, so you don't need to have 2 bits of Bardock's suit. But the good news is you can buy the clothes, so if you wanted to, you could. But anyway, so basically you could just buy multiple articles of clothing, or you can grind for the right ones. I was messing around with QQ Bangs, and this is what I discovered this, so I bought a whole bunch of Bardock's. So health, stamina, basic attack. So actually, you know what? Let's actually play with this. This might give us the QQ Bang that I could substitute. Let's take a look. I did with Broly. I got 2 of his clothes and I mixed them together. And then the idea is that you basically want to take this, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to grab another one of Bardock's. Let's see, now we use him right here. Okay, so we've got 2 of Battle Suit of Bardock, and you want to take a 5-star mixing item. That's how you guarantee, and this is what it does. It takes the stats of the gear that you're putting together, and it guarantees that you get that stat as the output in the QQ Bang. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to take this, and we're going to go ahead and say yes. And what that does now is that gives us, as you can see on the right side, if you look on the right side of my screen here, you can see that health is up, stamina is up, and basic attack is up. So it sucks because I don't really care so much about the stamina, and it's a bummer that I kind of lose Ki Blast Supers out of that, but you can pretty much guarantee that you're getting a 5-star QQ Bang every time. So, to reiterate, take 2 pieces of gear from the same person. In this case, I took 2 battle suits from Bardock, and you can do hands and boots, you can do boots and legs, you can do legs and legs, you can do suit and suit for his upper, or whatever. So in this case, I took, it looks like I took his legs. I took 2 pants, 2 pair of Bardock's legs, and I mixed them together, and then I took a 5-star rating item for the Senzu. You can buy those. So I took the Senzu mixing item and I put that together. So I basically took 3 5-stars, 2 of which were clothing from the same person, in this case Bardock, and it gave me the exact outcome. So in the center of the screen is a QQ Bang at 5 stars, health up, stamina up, basic attack up. Boom, there you go. That's a guaranteed way to get a 5-star QQ Bang if you're after one, and it's a guaranteed way to get the stats that you want. Problem is, if you're mixing 2 items that have varying stats that don't match up, that are not identical, which is typically what you get if I took, like, let's say, Goku's tracksuit that you can see on the left, and I took Android 17's clothes, so both you've got a 4 and a 2, and you've got random stats there. If I mix those together, the chances of that being a 5, and chances of that being all 5s in every category are astronomically high, and the odds are way against you, obviously. So if you want to guarantee yourself getting the stats that you want, you need 2 articles of clothing that are 5, if that's what you were looking for, of course. I'm assuming that it would be. And you want to get the stats that you find in those 5s to be appealing to you and based on your playstyle. Get 2 of each, or 2 of the same person. So if you had Gogeta's boots or pants and suits, just take 2 of those, mix them together, and take a 5-star mixing item, which guarantees that they can come together. Now, I've heard somebody telling me, someone mentioned before that they used a 4-star item to guarantee stats when doing the mixing. This is just what I'm recommending. Okay, this is just what I think would be the best way for you to go. Now, one final thing. If you did use a 5-star item and you got these stats and it's not what you want, and you're looking for something that's identical or that's a little bit different, and you're trying your luck, let's say, whatever. Let's just say that your overall stats and your outcome or your QQ Bang are not what you want. All you got to do is just back out of the game and close the application before you hit accept on OK right here. What that does is it doesn't save the QQ Bang. You accepting OK and hitting OK right here is basically telling the game, yep, this is what I want, this is good, let's go ahead and get that. So if you're short on TP metals, if you're short on money, if you're short of any type of currency and you don't have any other 5-star items, you can go ahead and just cancel this by closing the application on your console, backing out of the game and reloading the game and coming right back here, and you'll find that you still have your clothing and your mixing items, and you'll be good. So anyway, point is that this is the best way. If you want to mix some items together and get the stats you're looking for, this is how you do it. So if you found this useful, if you guys have any feedback or if you have some thoughts, this is just something that I discovered and found it, and I'm sure that there's plenty of other means to doing the exact same thing here, but this is the way that I can guarantee you will give you a 5-star item in the outcome and the exact stats with the items that you rolled. But again, they have to be from the same person. So if you guys found it useful, throw a like down below. If you have some comments or suggestions or any feedback that you want to share, I'm always open to that. I like engaging with you guys, and if I'm wrong, correct me. It's the internet. That's what it's there for. And if you guys found this to be of benefit and you like the video as a whole, subscribe. Subscribe. Helps me out. I like seeing you guys subscribe. Become someone who subscribes to my channel, see the stuff that I post. Let's talk Dragon Ball. We do that a lot here, playing Dragon Ball Universe 2. Got some other games and other things that I do, so I like to mix it up. But anyway, I'm talking too much here. Let's wrap it up. Thank you guys. I appreciate you taking time to watch this video, and I will see you next time. And yes, if you're wondering, this is that song from Halo. This is the Mjolnir theme from Halo 2. Yeah, I didn't like the in-game music on Dragon Ball Universe 2, but whatever, I'm out. All right, later.